What's going on, guys? The fight of the century is finally here, and we finally get to see who wins between the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Give Breaking Nation, where we give excellent assessment and reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice is a 2016 superhero action film directed by Zack Snyder. Set 18 months after the events of Man of Steel, we're sitting here with Superman now, whose presence is causing a lot of controversy among the public, and what leads into the eventual confrontation with Batman. This film, in my opinion, was completely epic. It was epic on so many levels. It was definitely the film that I thought it would be. It had a very dark and serious tone to it that I think really fit for the film. Now, in terms of the story was done really well, and it was told from multiple angles. And I like the fact that it actually dove into Batman's point of view and Superman's point of view, and I think it did a great job actually balancing the two out. The film definitely establishes the reasons behind the character's action, why Batman sees Superman as a threat, and how Superman is actually having to deal with the issues with the public seeing him the way he is. And I like the fact that the film actually kind of focused on people's perceptions of him, whether they think he's a savior or they actually think that he's a potential menace. And I will admit that I like the fact that they had Wonder Woman in the film, and I was impressed at how relevant she was. She actually had a continuous presence throughout the movie that made her relevant, and she was just awesome. And the story pretty much is this tension that's building up between Batman and Superman, and what happens to be one of the best superhero fights I've ever seen. It was really brutal. And what made it feel so impactful was the fact that on both sides of the fence, it was driven with emotion. Now, they did a really good job when it came to the build-up and the climax battle between these two. And I think the pacing done a pretty good job of actually establishing the backstory and the setup. This cast was terrific. It was perfect. It was great. Ben Affleck completely killed as Batman. I really appreciated Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. She was tough, she was strong, she was likable. I like the fact Jeremy Irons played a really cool Alfred Pennyworth. He was really badass. And I have to kind of give it to Jesse Eisenberg. Even though he did play a bit of a different type of Lex Luthor, I think he did the role right for the type of Lex Luthor that they was actually going for. I mean, the guy was a dick, but he was kind of cocky and he was kind of goofy, but he was actually pretty serious. Henry Cavill returning as Superman, he completely kills the role. He does a great job. Him and Amy Adams did have this great chemistry together, so I did appreciate their characters and I did like them and I did root for them. We're going to do a quick hot reel. Amy Adams, completely hot. Gal Gadot, absolutely hot. Now, as I said, for the fights that were in this film, I thought they were pretty brutal, especially from Batman's perspective. When he throws down, and he means business. But they did a great job of implementing the visual effects with the practical effects, and I really appreciated that. A lot of the designs when it came to the characters and the city and use of abilities, I thought were done really well, especially Batman's costume. I thought his costume gave him a very gritty and gruff and dark tone to him, so I actually liked it and I thought it was pretty cool. I, of course, loved the Superman costume. Wonder Woman, I loved her outfit. She looked like an actual warrior. I'm going to exclude a certain element that's one of the biggest things about this movie in this review, so that way I'm not going to spoil it for you in this review, even though you probably might know about it. But when I do my spoiler review, I just talk all about it, and trust me, I really want to talk about it. Hans Zimmer, along with the efforts of Junkie XL, did a terrific job when it came to the score. It was beautiful, it was emotional, it was impactful. It definitely hit home on so many levels. The film does have its share of issues. It isn't flawless. There are certain sequences in this film that are kind of unexplained. It's like they were trying to find a way to try to throw in a few Easter eggs and a few cliffhangers here to try to keep people more intrigued in the series of other films that are going to come out. There was one sequence where something happened and it's showing this person something that was going to happen, but it's like, why did that happen? The story was a bit predictable, and I really kind of attribute this to the fact that the trailer spoiled so much of the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I was kind of put off that they had so many predictable moments to it. I mean, they did have certain twists in it that I thought were interesting, but I also think they kind of were a bit random, which does go back to the thing where I was saying that they were actually kind of put some unexplained things in there so it wouldn't, be as predictable. But I don't think it helped. I think it hurt. From the trailers alone, I kind of predicted that one situation was going to happen concerning a certain somebody, and then when it showed it in the movie, I was like, okay, I caught that. Also, I can kind of see how visually that there is too much CGI, and it should have been a bit better when it came to practical effects, but I'm not the one too much gripe about that. I heard it was an issue in the Man of Steel, but I didn't really care too much about it, and I can see how it could be an issue in this film too, because there is a bit of an overuse of CGI, but there are certain sequences where you kind of feel like you got to have that type of CGI in. When the movie was coming out, they were saying they was going to implement several other characters into this film, and it already felt like it was going to be convoluted with the people that was already in there. But I have to say, the way that they did it was very interesting, and I think that it was very interesting and very effective. In the end, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is a great film. Like I said, it isn't without its share of problems, and it's mostly due to the story and a little bit overuse of the CGI. But I have to say, not only were the characters great, but the performances were solid. Everybody did a terrific job. The visual effects were pretty good. Fights were impactful. The score was just beautiful on so many levels, and the story, even though it isn't that really original, it was done fairly well, especially considering all the characters' perspectives. In the end, I have to say, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice definitely deserves a 4 out of 5. Now, I'm not surprised that the film came out the way I expected it would. I didn't think it would be like this overall achievement thing, like the Avengers or anything like that, but I thought the film was going to be what it was, and it delivered. I was entertained. I was happy that I seen it. I liked the fight. I liked the resolution. I liked the climactic battle. Everything, in my opinion, was just done pretty well for the most part. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know, have you seen Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice? What did you think about it? Also, I would like for you guys to tell me, who's your favorite hero in this film? Is it Batman, is it Superman, or is it Wonder Woman? Me personally, Wonder Woman pretty much stole the show for me. And until the next edition of Gear Breaker Nation, guys, keep those gears turning.